We are at the river because it's Sunday right after church and we're about to do river baptism. I'm very excited about it. I have some ducks that I'm feeding some pulled pork. Look at the little baby ducklings. Well, believe it or not, this all ties into John chapter 6, which is our passage today. We have water, we have food, and we have Jesus. The story begins, as you probably listened on Friday, where Jesus feeds 5,000 people, fish and bread. Probably 20,000 because they were only counting the men. So it was an incredible day. John chapter 6 says they wanted to make Jesus king. Well, he's giving us free meals. But Jesus sent the crowd away. He went up on the mountain to pray, put his disciples in the boat, and they push off onto the Sea of Galilee. A lot of people can draw a crowd. Jesus knew when to send the crowd away so he could spend time in prayer. And so as he's on the mountain praying, the disciples are in the middle of the Sea of Galilee, and the wind picks up, and there's a terrible storm, and they're all nervous. They're wondering if the next wave they ride is going to be their last. And Jesus can see them. If you're reading the passages, I always hope you do, it says it's dark and Jesus was not yet there. Have you ever felt that way? Like it's a very dark time in your life. Maybe there's a storm in your life and you feel like Jesus is nowhere to be seen. Where are you, Lord? Well, he could see them from the mountain. In fact, Jesus came walking to them on the water. He gets into the boat with the frightened disciples and calms the storm. And the scripture says the boat was immediately to the shore. I've always wondered how that happened. Did it just dematerialize and reappear? Was it like there was an invisible 4-stroke Mercury outboard engine and it just took off? I don't know how it happened, but it was a miracle nonetheless. And so they're on the shore. Now all these people wake up the next morning and they're hungry. Hey, where did Jesus go? That guy that was giving us free fish and chips. And so the scripture says they got in the boats and they came to the other side, to Capernaum. I've been there many times in Israel. And when Jesus sees them, he knows why they're there. I'm holding a pulled pork barbecue sandwich. Jesus, he realizes they're not there because they want to follow him. They're not there because they want to obey him. They're there for breakfast. And he begins to say some difficult, challenging things to them, like I'm the bread of life, and if you eat of me, you'll never hunger again. If you drink of my water, you'll never thirst again. And the scripture actually says, oh, there's somebody that's about to get baptized. Come on through. The scripture says that towards the end of the chapter, that people began to leave. They were fans. Maybe they weren't followers. Because Jesus is more interested in filling our stomach. He's more interested in spiritual food and us having a relationship with him. I'm going to have to wrap it up because people are lining up and it's hot and we need to baptize them. But one final thought: when you're in the storm, in the middle of the night, in the middle of the Sea of Galilee, do you remember after they fed 5,000 what they did with leftovers? Picked up 12 baskets. 12 baskets of leftovers. So as they're in the boat, more than likely those 12 baskets are in the bottom of the boat. There's evidence in the bottom of the boat of Jesus taking care of them hours earlier. And they had already forgotten. And they doubted. And I bet if you look in the bottom of your boat, you'll see blessings. You'll see God. You'll see many, many times in the past where God's been there for you as well. And he'll be there for you again. We're going to go baptize people, and it's going to be glorious. Have a good day.